What's up, Wheelers? Walkers Podcast, the show where we talk about a lot of Jeep things. We answer your Jeep questions and talk about ways to beef up your ride. I'm Paul with JeepBeef, and as always, I've got Ryan from Combat Off-Road. And today we are talking about underrated mods that people often do not make to their Jeeps. So
taken for granted.
Should be fun. We want to hear from you though. If you have
an idea,
Angel says spare.
Oh,
what's Angel say? I apparently can't read that far away.
Oh yeah.
12-point hub.
The 3 bolts on each side. Yeah, they usually are corroded or someone slips it, rubs them right out, so you can't get them out. It's pretty fun.
We can see, what's up, guys? Figure out how to see your questions. Yeah, we can definitely see the questions. We just can't see who you are. So,
Facebook user.
Don't be going and we can
face.
find out later.
That's right.
Awesome. All right, cool. So before we get into it, I wanted to mention, we wrote an article actually on the website about the new Recon edition for the Jeep. Have you seen that?
Me, no.
No, it's totally new. I wanted to get your opinion on it, but maybe what I should do is next time I'll let you know ahead of time. It's Mike. It's Mike Miller. There we go. All right, Mike. Now I know what you're saying. Okay, so I can see the questions. I don't think.
Yeah, Mike was controlling the podcast last week. So no more of that.
Had it going on. Yeah, so there's a new edition, if you will, of the Rubicon. It's the
I heard that Kurt
Extreme
messaged me
Recon. It's pretty. It looks pretty awesome. Like I say, we wrote an article about it. You'd think I would have taken the time to do a little bit more research, but I did not. Maybe we'll follow up with it next week. It looks pretty awesome. Like it's got some
still stock, still boring.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, of course I think. I gotta believe that.
Yeah. Well,
or I won't have any businesses. I won't have the original or the other one.
I was gonna say one thing I did notice on it was so essentially the take on it is that they're trying to sort of get rid of that Sasquatch edition that the Bronco has, because with the Bronco you get that Sasquatch thing is like 35s and all that. Yeah. So the thought is so now Jeep is putting out something like that, but honestly, the wheels and tires on it, like even though they're 35s,
they're not, dude. The 35 is the 31 now.
The current 30, there's no question.
In like from an evolution of the tires, man. Like it used to be 30. You used to have stock tires, and you got 31s, and you were like, did push-ups for 6 months. You kind of look a little jacked. And then 33s were the monster tires, like a long time ago. And then it flip-flopped where it's 33s. We're the 31 and then 35s, and then now 37, 40, 42 is where we're at. So they're still behind the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is, like you say, is good for aftermarket. Suppliers and what have you, right? So Dion says he likes the afternoon evening format better. Yeah, man.
Good.
Us too. Yeah.
Tim.
I was gonna say we're just sort of taking advantage because Tim is taking a bit of a vacation, so we're doing it at night. See how it goes.
It's better. Imagine he tuned in. I'm like, if you're gonna tune in, you might as well come chat.
Right. That's right. Or at least throw something up in the comments there. Angel says he has an unpopular opinion as a Jeep guy that Bronco sales are going to spank Jeeps in the coming years. I think that's probably true. I mean, if you look at just the sheer numbers, though, right? I mean, there's a huge gap. So in terms of it, at least in terms of percentage, right? They're gonna sell tons of them. Now that being said, I still haven't seen one up close. I saw one actually the other day driving, and my wife wondered why I was getting all crazy, and I wanted to turn around, but we couldn't. So I was like, I'm following that thing. I want to see it. But I think the Jeep is like, from what I've seen of them, the Bronco looks badass. I think they did an amazing job. As good as anybody has done bringing back a model years after it was retired. And I really think that they've sort of coined, or they've sort of punched into the right part of the market, in that, just like Jeep, and right or wrong, a lot of quote unquote soccer moms buy Jeeps, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's not judgment, whatever. It's just a lot of suburban moms drive a Jeep to to get their kids at school and stuff, which is great because it's a it does what it does. It needs to do. I think the Bronco fits into that category too. So you're gonna see people who are
competition for
sure. Exactly right. You're gonna see people off-roading it like crazy, but then you're gonna see a lot of people just buying it and doing nothing with it, right? Like just driving it, like that's it, because it's cool, right? I mean, no,
the
Angel,
mirrors are
the
mirrors are a little weird. Like they got these giant mirrors off the side of them. They're a little strange.
Yeah, and like I said, have you seen one up close, or you just from like pictures and videos?
I just saw the pictures. There's a couple landing around here, but
yeah,
we haven't got like any allocated to us for like fun stuff yet. So
yeah, right on. I know. I kind of can't wait. I'd like to get one just to test it out. But I'll tell you though,
I'll get one.
I no matter what, Angel, I am going to have a lot of fun with Bronco owners though, as like a Jeep guy, because I think it's great. It's so much better than the whole rivalry, if you will, with the Prius, because that was fun and all, but being able to make fun of some Bronco people it's good to go. Okay, so he says, feel like more families in the U.S. at least grew up as a Ford family. Yeah, no, I agree with that too. Just in terms of even from a social media standpoint, like the number of people who so recently the Jeep Wrangler was named the most patriotic vehicle, and the post where that was posted online had thousands, if not like tens of thousands of people going, no way, it's 100% a Ford. Like the ratio of the number of people from Fords to that are in there going, yeah, the Jeep, that 100% right. There's just way more Ford people in there. So I think that I don't disagree with what you're saying there as well. And there, as a final thing before we get into our next topic, he says, don't get me wrong, he wants one also. So there you go.
Yeah, I want to drive one, man.
Yeah, right. Why not? Absolutely. Okay, so let's jump into it. We've got a list of 10 underrated mods that people often overlook, but you suggest, and we have your 10 and I've got a couple of mine, that are they're must-haves and you should do it. Correct?
Me? No, yeah. I thought we just said well, I get what you mean by must-haves. Yeah, they're just a good little thing to do that some people just don't, they don't value it till they're in the moment of like, oh fuck, I should have.
Yes, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, let's start it. What's number one on your list?
Okay, so I put them in no particular order of importance, and I even wrote that in my email. Actually, it's funny. All right,
right here at the top, these are in no order of importance.
Right. So I was I was talking about as cheesy as some of them may be, the D-ring isolators, the little rubber guys you put over your D. They make things safe.
Yeah, explain. I know what they are, but for people who don't, I mean, I imagine everyone listening to this knows.
They're basically just it's like a poly shape of the radius, and you just kind of stick it on the D-ring and just kind of fits in place. And then that'll just, if you leave them on when you're driving, obviously if you just take them off, put in a bag, there's probably no need for the D-ring isolators, but lots of people stick those things on and leave them. D-rings hanging there. You got fresh little powder coated and you're going down some bumpy roads and, your D's flapping. You gotta secure the D.
flapping.
Or at least protect the D for you and others with the D-ring isolator. So, that's kind of something that...
it's like a $10 purchase too, right? Like you can pick them up anywhere, 10, just grab them online.
$15, usually a pair. So Daystar is the one we always sell. But I was thinking, what was I thinking? Yeah, well, if you painted a bumper, like even if you just painted it like a nice color match, like if you're one of the street guys, but you want D-rings just in case something happens when you're out and about shopping and other things you could be doing. Right?
Cool.
You don't want to smash that paint. So, and they all come in a whole bunch of different colors. So I'd say, if you like your stuff pretty and you have D-rings,
or you live in the East, because that's another problem, right? Like you're immediately going to rust. Like the second that D-ring.
Well, but you'd only save the one little spot.
Yeah.
It looks like a mouth guard for a D-ring. Like you could fit it in your mouth.
Right. Well,
So
but it
just,
keeps it from banging against the bumper. So if you have a
when I
powder
saying, yeah,
coated, right?
well, chip it, yeah, and then you get
Yeah, exactly, right? Because all of a sudden
contaminants.
your bumper will like rust instantly. Here we have, what's this one? Gasoline, lots of gasoline at least once a week.
I've overlooked that many times, especially in high school.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, I had to call buddies to get me.
These are some of these are great though. Some of these are really good. So Angel says oil pan skid.
Oh yeah, that would for me of no order of importance. Number 6.
All right. Well, okay. Well, then let's get to that. Let's talk about that. What's I mean, dive into that a little bit. Again, I think
a lot of people
it's self-explanatory. But.
Yeah, a lot of people go lift rims, tires. Like, I got to get all that. And the tough one with that pill to swallow is you got to have everything at once. But if you're going off-roading, and that just there's a lot of fun, expensive items underneath your vehicle, right? Oil pan is super key. That holds all the oil. Without that, the motor just doesn't work the way it should. You know what I mean? And then you got like the evap skids under there. There's a bunch of stuff, all the fun little stuff that you can just jam something up underneath. And even if you didn't break anything, you get caught underneath there. So a skid plate will allow you to get over and then you're good to go. Slide over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
you
exactly.
You don't realize until you smash it, right?
Yeah. Or you use the stock ones and then your fuel tank doesn't hold any fuel anymore. It's just half full at full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, so that was number 6 for me, but not number 6 in my importance. I think basically if I had to look at the list really super quick, I would say the skid plates are the most money based on what I said, but they save the most expensive components. And if I were to pick everything on the list really quick, if I'm looking again, I would say that might even be the last thing people buy versus all the stuff on my list. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Right? You're like, I can go lift rims, tires. Let's go 4-wheeling. Or, hey, my Jeep stock. Let's go 4-wheeling. And yeah, I mean, that it just falls to the wayside. Like we've been doing this forever, like the install in the shop. And, probably 1 out of every 100 Jeeps that come in here, we have a reasonable volume, but that will get skid plates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And way earlier, hardly anybody did anything. Power steering box skid plate for a TJ. That was a huge seller because it was like $100. It wasn't like crazy, but skid plates are like, $15, $18, $2,200, right? And it's
Is that right? Because I know you can get them in components, right? Like you can get the smaller pieces and,
so they're modular, but sometimes one needs the other to like sandwich it. So you can get away with one floating and one not. So if you're going to go that route, I would definitely make sure you knew what part to break out of the kit until Christmas or whatever.
Right, for sure. Oh, there you go. 100% use this steering skid on a TJ. There you go.
Yeah, it was totally worth it.
But if you have a TJ, and you don't have
steering box skid plate is one of the first things you do on a TJ.
Go grab it.
Yeah,
Jerry says, "What's up from Florida? What's up, Jerry?"
Oh, I wish I was in Florida.
Right,
like Florida.
Florida's pretty good. All right. Awesome. Chris says, mud flaps, window visors, and a new battery.
Holy moly! Oh! I like your style. I put a battery there, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, number 7. Intended use battery.
Yeah, I called it something particular earlier today. Intended use battery. What I mean by that is for winches and auxiliary lighting and air compressors and all that fun stuff. You're going to take a toll on the charging system. You're going to take a toll on the battery, and the regular old batteries from the OEM are not really up to snuff. So you could take a chance and wait till it dies in the middle of the bush and then get a new one after you tow your Jeep out, or you could just bite the bullet or ask somebody for a special day and get yourself a battery.
So now, out of curiosity, you get a tow package that has like the heavy duty battery. Do you still want to get rid of it? Like, you still want to go with the purpose?
Yeah, we use like the spiral batteries. Like a battery can take some beating, can take some heat, take some shock. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you have a particular color, right? What is it? It's the yellow one, right?
I use the yellow top. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, like D3478 or something like that. I think that's the one.
Good to know. All right. So even if it's like a brand new JL, when you start, especially before you start adding some of those, like the winch and
you could play it by ear. You know what I mean? Like, you have a brand new Jeep and you want to mess with it, and you got it, and you just spent $2,000 getting lights and all kinds of different fun stuff on it, and you're like, oh, do I have to spend another $300 or $500 on a battery? The Odysseys are up there. They're really cool batteries. They work really well, and they're super popular, but they're way more than an Optima. But yeah, run the new battery for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like, don't be that worried. But I would say, if the thing's a few years old, I would definitely think about it if I had a lot of stuff drawing on the system.
Got it. Fair enough. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So we bounced around. So we've done number 1. We did number 6. We've done number 7. Let's talk about number 2 because of our, missing host here. We'll talk about
TMR
the
Tim.
TMR Tim.
TMR Tim is the deuce.
He is the deuce tonight.
So my pick from Deuce is TMR door liners, or the China ones, whatever ones you want. They're way cheaper from China.
And just as good.
Yeah,
right?
They're better,
made of
man.
the best. I don't even know what they. I know Tim's are Delrin. Plastic.
They recycle them out of the plastic that covers your shoelaces.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, so we like to use Tim's products. They're fun and they're good. We're just playing, but yeah, that's one thing to do right away. So if you ended up buying a used Jeep, you're probably gonna have a little bit of trouble getting the doors off in most places. So if you get a new Jeep and you got a couple extra bucks and you're handy, I'd replace those liners with the Duralane liners, because what happens is they just bond to the steel pins, and you never get those doors out. You're going to use heat. Pry bars, like our favorite way back in the day was, we tried penetrating for a few days. If it didn't work, we get a piece of wood and a floor jack, put some tension under the door, and then we get a torch and we heat up
That's
each
awesome.
one of the things, and then have somebody there to catch it, because you got a lot of force, and all of a sudden the door just pops off.
There you go.
We didn't do it to customers' vehicles, but
what's that?
We didn't do that to customer vehicles,
right? Yeah, so in my 2016, when I took the doors off it
was 2017 by the time.
Yeah, well, it was probably like, I want to say September, so probably about
Tuesday,
14 months after having it. Yeah, the back passenger door was almost impossible to get off. Like, literally, I had 3 of us. We ended up using, because we have hockey sticks laying around, because that's the way it is. So we ended up having like hockey sticks, snapping the hockey sticks. We eventually got it off, but it was only 14 months after, and it was a brand new Jeep, 14 months old. That's it.
That's crazy.
And it was hard to get it off. So what we got? Took me 45 minutes to go off my 2005 TJ in 2009. Yeah, that's not bad though, is it? 45 minutes?
It's still a pain when they're supposed to just pop off.
That's true, right? Yeah. And it's because of the difference in the metal that they use, right? Like the sleeve versus the actual.
Yeah, they're going to be dissimilar metals. I don't know all the components. Well, I know the components, but I don't know what the
oxidizing,
Yeah, basically, they're like dissimilar, and they just fuse in there. Well, you get moisture in there, you know what I mean? So it'll just create a little bit of junk in there, but definitely painful.
Right. He says a Cali Jeep. Yeah. That okay. Fair enough.
Oh, that's pretty good. But 45 minutes is, what's that all about? What happened to you? Jeez. I'm sure he's gotten better by now.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so let's go then. Number 3 on your list.
3. Okay, so I said a tire puncture kit. They're just little. They're really super cheap. Probably like $30-$40. I know we sell them in a soft pouch and a hard pouch. We sell an ARB one, and I think a Smittybilt one for sure. So both are reasonable. They're just sticky plugs and stuff. So really depends on how you want to store it, but very easy. I always have them in my Jeep, because sometimes you can get away with it before it sucks in any water or mud. It's just a hole, and then you just plug it and go, instead of like stopping everyone.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, flipping the spare out and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and if you have like a substantially large tire, like a 35 from the factory, which doesn't, right. 37s, 40s, this is a bit of a struggle. Like to change a tire, you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? So tire puncture kit for a few bucks, and it might help you anywhere. And then even if you tow your vehicle, and for some reason you want to buy 2, you always have 1. So if your tow rig got a puncture, you can fix that. Then just make sure, if you don't catch it in time, make sure you have onboard air. So spend more money on onboard air.
Right.
And then you'll be able to fill that tire up after you blow a hole in it and patch it.
Later on, Angel. Take care.
Oh, thanks for coming, man.
He had to bail, but yeah, thanks for stopping in. Catch us when we do the edited version, and it's fantastic. No, that's a good point, because I was thinking, most people, you're out there with a spare, right? So I was curious about this one, but that makes a lot of sense. If you're on the trail and you can avoid removing the tire that you have on and flipping out for a spare, I tell you, you brought me that 37 there last week, and getting that thing out of my Jeep, and I'm like, holy shit, this thing weighs a friggin' ton. I gotta work out, man, just to move my spare tire around.
just work out on it until you're strong enough to take it with you.
Exactly, right? Yeah, no. So move flipping that out on the trail, I could imagine be a bit of especially if you're in a situation with mud and dirt and
shit. That's painful. And then even like on the trail, like off camber, or like you just on a flat tire, fuck it, just run it. You know what I mean? Like at walking speed, who cares? But I mean, if there was a point where you couldn't get to a safe place to even jack it up, like, you know what I mean?
Yes, right. The angle.
And usually you hear it, right? A puncture, especially when you're going slow in the bush. It's like, right? So you got some time, unless you really did a number, then that puncture kit and all those little sticky pieces of goo in there aren't going to help you. Sorry.
All right, cool. Dion, we'll get yours in a second, but Facebook user says, I always keep a puncture kit in my recovery bag. I assume this is Mike. One of the things I tell my students, yes, in my off-road 101 class, is to keep it in their bag. So there you go.
Keep it in your pants.
Keep it in your bag. Listen.
Hey, that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt.
That is right there.
We have a whole series of t-shirts. Keep it.
Okay, hold on. This is a long one. I don't know if it's going to show up. Let's see. Boom. Okay, so new to me, 05 LJ Ruby last year on 37s with bead logs, going from an 04 TJ with 35s and standard wheels. I use a normal floor jack to do tire rotation. So what do we think, or what do you think of high lifts? He's never owned one, but he's seen many videos on them. Are they dangerous, as some people say? More of a dust collector, useful? What are your thoughts? My personal thought is, before Ryan gets in, because he's got much more intelligent things to say, but my 2 cents is it would definitely depend on the person. I've never in my life needed a high lift jack, not one time, at least not.
You're not trying hard enough. Wait till
and that could be it. So that was my 2 cents. I want to hear what you have to say, but I think it depends on what you're doing. Besides, I also wheel with people like Ryan and Tim, and so I rely on their expertise.
Just bring it. Yeah, just bring a lunch. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Well, I would say that's a huge thing. I'm trying to remember everything it said. Basically, high lift jack, they're pretty cool. You know what I mean? They have a purpose, they have a spot, and then they are pretty dangerous, especially if you don't maintain them. So they work, and then the little pins can change and break, and levers can flip, and all this stuff, and then you can have a bad moment. So what I do, I have the ARB jack. It's it's stupid money, but it's super cool. It's a full hydraulic jack. You just easy pumps, thing goes up easier than a normal like 3.5 ton floor jack. Pretty cool little piece of equipment. You can get a base for it. Similar, you can get a base for the high lift. I would say, the high lifts are like $80 to $150, and then the ARB jack's probably like $1,400. It's pretty wild. Yeah,
a little bit more.
It's a wild jack, but we use jacks. I've used jacks forever. I wouldn't say every single time I go out, but a reasonable percentage of the times where we're going out, it's nice to have a jack, or like Paul said, wheel with someone who has a little more equipment than you do. You don't need to bring 2. I mean, if you had it, I guess it's not a bad idea in case something fails. But I would. I don't know. I'd get one if you can't really, or you don't want to shell out the money for the ARB, which I don't blame anyone. It's just really neat. Definitely high lift jack. Yeah, I'm all good with it. Just watch how you use it, learn how to operate it, and if you're pumping up with something, just stay aside. If it's coming down, just stay off to the side, because I've seen people like things slip, boom, hit you in the face, or come close, like just dust through your beard or something. So pretty wild piece of equipment. If you pay attention, you just lubricate the thing, You should be okay. I had one my whole forever. They're fine. I just switched to this other jack like a year ago.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right,
go
so
for
good.
it. Go for the jack.
Good, yeah. So okay, so fair enough. There you go.
But then if you're for changing tires with that jack, you want a jack stand at minimum, okay? So if you're in the driveway, you're like, let's use a high lift. So if you have toe points on each corner with a D-ring, right? You can just hook the D-ring through the foot of the high lift jack, give it a pump. But if you're going to go under the vehicle like that and rip one of the tires off, make sure you carry at least a single jack stand. I don't know how you're going to do that unless you're rotating your spare in. You know what I mean? You might have to lift two wheels. I don't particularly suggest you lift the front or the back in the center with a high lift jack. If that was
too like unstable.
Oh, dude, yeah, no way. I don't. At that point, if I had to do something and I was near a tree or something tall, I would just snatch block my winch and hook a strap around whatever's there, and then a D-ring, then your snatch block, then your cable, and pull it back to yourself. Pull yourself up. You know what I mean? And then at least you're. Well, I don't know if you're safe. I would do it as minimal as possible, but I would change one corner at a time and have a jack stand under the axle for sure.
Okay, good to know. All right, good tip. All right, so this isn't. I don't think this is on your list, but I'm with Dion, and I'm saying a fire extinguisher.
This is a good idea for sure, and they're pretty cheap for the little ones. That was the bottom. I said thoughts. Feel free to add. Thanks, guys, for adding.
There you go. Yeah. No, I think a fire extinguisher is great, right?
I mean, great idea. I don't know. People do talk about it. I was trying to get like obscure ones that aren't sexy.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people do get the fire extinguisher.
People like love fire extinguishers.
Yeah,
race car. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah,
it's actually one of the reasons why I'm always like apprehensive in putting one in the Jeep, because I'm like, I don't know, man. You know, it's like one of those things, right?
It is a turbo.
It is the turbo. I know, right? If anyone needs one, when we were wheeling that time, the fan coming from that engine,
the cooling fan,
it was so loud. I was like, it
loud.
Better be on fire right now. Like, it's so loud.
Yeah, those things are crazy. They're all the JLs or the fans are just like on full high.
And just following up real quick, he says that's a couple bucks. Yeah. So thanks for the response. Turtle Creek in Kansas is the closest spot, so nothing crazy. So there you go. Good to know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, do the high lift. It's cool. It works. Just
awesome. Thanks.
Keep your fucking face out of the way. That's about it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the biggest one.
James says he's putting a turbo on his 2.5. There you go.
Oh, cool. Are you gonna build it, or are you gonna just run like 4 pounds of boost or something?
We'll wait for a response, but we're curious. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so. Fire extinguisher again. I honestly do personally think that's a good one. We did a show, as a matter of fact, and at the end of it basically whatever we discussed, I was like, yeah, you know what? Really, we probably should have a fire extinguisher in the Jeep. So, okay, so we've got number 4. That's a good one. Let's talk about number 4.
Oh, the survival bag.
The survival bag. It just sounds cool too, right?
Yeah, I know. I actually like the sound of it. I mean,
zombie apocalypse. Don't worry, I got my survival bag in my Jeep. I'm good to go.
Yeah,
I am making this.
Well, for the survival bag, it really depends on how deep you want to go. There's full like Met Kit ones like that are wild with all kinds of crazy. Just depends on what type of off-roading, overlanding, and like adventure stuff you guys are getting into. If you're pretty mild and it's a day trip, you know what I mean? It's not a bad idea regardless. Anything can happen, right? So I'm talking about like something that included a first aid. It doesn't have to say survival bag or kit or like death kit or anything. It just you could
but
you
it
could have
could.
Like it could. You know, you could get some tape and put it on your old high school backpack. But you know, I'm talking like easy stuff, first aid kit, you know, a warm blanket, change their dry clothes, you know, for everybody, or even just emergency extras. Something that's always in the bag, you know, some rations, dry rations, stuff like that. Anything, you know, if you had to get stuck out there and you had to eat, or someone got hurt, you know what I mean? I know it sounds like so momish, but
no, man, I think
it's just nice to go like stress free. Like, not to say that I don't obey all these things. Like, if I have first aid, I like to bring first aid for sure. You know, but I probably don't get into like rations or a blanket, but I kind of know where I am, and a lot of the times the places we go or like a day trip or some kind of park or something like that for the most part. So this would really depend on how isolated you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Most
sure.
of the time we're not, and most of the time we're in a reasonable sized group. So I don't go too far. I definitely like the idea of dry clothes regardless, especially for when in like an off season or a cold season, or it gets really cold where you are at night. Nice to have dry clothes. Nice to have one of those reflective blankets at very least. Really depends on space claim too, like how much space you have for this stuff. But I think if you got yourself a nice survival bag, about the size of a backpack, shouldn't be too invasive for cabin space. And I'd make sure there's first aid, and then the rest on the table. But you know, I would make sure I had some stuff like utility knives, you know, stuff like that also. And that could be in your tool bag. You should have a tool bag. But everyone kind of has like more tool bag, but I think less people pack a real survival bag that's super easy, inclusive. It's something you can just leave in a truck forever. It's not going to go bad. Nothing's going to go wrong. You could like literally open that up 5 years from now and everything's legit. So a bag to that style, you know what I mean?
Got it. I was going to say though, you do have to sort of watch, because I had one of those in my car for so long that when I switched it and brought it, I put it into the Jeep. It was in there for so long. Everything was just absolute shit. Like it was done. Like it must have been in there, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years, something like that. Like my dad probably got it when I was like 16, right? And it was just like the what's it called? The alcohol and all that stuff was basically swabs? Like gone. Yeah, that's all dry. Like just totally sucked. It would not have worked. So
that's funny.
Well,
let's say 5 years is reasonable.
Yeah.
You're
check
two,
it every.
You're 2.5 times over the expiry.
Not a bad idea. Yeah. Eric says wiper blades.
Super unsexy, overlooked, but very awesome piece of equipment. Yeah, wiper blades. Yeah, definitely up there. And for pleasure over cost ratio, I would say you got a whole lot of value there.
That's true, because there's nothing worse than shitty windshield wipers, right? Like they like hop across the windshield, like whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, if you're in the ice, you know.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, nothing worse. And you're right. It's so frustrating. It'll make you have a bad day every time.
Yeah, or you lose one and then you just have one. That's still pretty aggravating. Or like I hate when it's always like the driver's side one when you're driving isn't as nice as the passenger one. And the first one to screw up most of the time is always the driver. Right. So I used to be real cheap. I go out, just flip them and give me another 6 months.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome. All right, cool. So we touched on 5, 6, 7. All right, so number 8. What do we got for number 8?
Oh, this is a super sexy one.
But wait, before you say it, because I want to read it, like verbatim what was sent to me in the email. Extra wheel lock key. That shit can hide. Extra vehicle key also.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're like, yeah, my wheel lock key for sure. It's in the glove box. You're like,
right?
No, oh, it's in the center console. Oh, it's in the other console. Oh, this.
Every
that.
time.
Right?
Every time. You're right.
Sneaky. Fucking sneaky. Right. Yeah. So an extra one's nice, you know, because it's going to be the one place you put it, and then that special place where you fucked off and don't know where it is. You won't have to care about that one ever again until the next time. But it could be a vicious circle. You might need 5 or 6 of these things.
Right. That's right.
And then I just thought like an extra vehicle key, just in case if you are four-wheeling and for some reason you think someone's going to steal your Jeep and you want to keep your keys with you as you walk and explore the upfront obstacles or terrain issues, and you slip and fall and land in your pockets empty and you have no key and you're the third guy out of 9, you just fucked everyone.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, fair enough.
You can bite the bullet for the computer key. Just put another one somewhere. You know, one of those super cool ones with the real heavy duty earth magnet. Hide it somewhere, and then obviously it's in the exterior, so you can get in. Don't put your extra key and hide it in your vehicle. Just a pro tip.
Yeah, especially if you have the JL and you have like the push button start.
Oh yeah, you're never locking.
Probably don't want to do that.
You're like, oh,
where'd it go again? Where's the Jeep this time? I have no idea.
Oh, amazing.
I have no idea why. So the app on the JL is cool. It sends me emails all the time. Just tells me like, hey,
I never
your Jeep's outside chilling. Like it wants to go for a ride. Like come give it. No, but it tells you like everything else, right? Like it tells you how many kilometers and if there's anything wrong with it, needs servicing, all that. But the one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't unlock the doors, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. Because
right. Well, I think maybe it's a phone. Maybe there's too many liabilities there.
Well, but almost every other app nowadays. I mean, I know that Jeep is gone. I mean, it's like, you know, absolutely over the top compared to the JL to the JK to the JL.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose they don't want to go, you know, 100% into the future, but
well, they don't have auto up windows either.
What's that?
They don't have auto up windows, just auto down.
Yes.
That
and which,
pisses me off.
Well, or that you can do from, again, the app or your key, where you can put the windows up or down, which would be great because
Oh, you want that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Talk to the Taser guys. Maybe you can set something up.
Maybe. I don't know. I apparently, though, it's something to do with I did actually look it up to see if it was possible to program it. Yeah, and it's something to do with it doesn't actually have the circuitry to do that, but it's only because all the time I forget to put my windows up. Like I never put them up.
Oh, really?
Unless it's raining, I never put them up. And so then I always forget, and it's like 3 a.m, and I run outside, and oh yeah, sure enough, it's been raining for the past 3 hours, and so I've had this Jeep a year. It's been like flooded. I want to say at least 5 or 6 times. I just leave I leave the roof open. I don't know why. I have no idea, but I'm just like, okay, whatever. So to have a button, I could just hit the button.
You have a button in your phone, say phone reminder like 8 o'clock.
Right. Paul, when it starts to rain, put your window up.
Stupid bastard. Yeah.
So this person says, doesn't make sense though. My Grand Cherokee could remote unlock the doors. Exactly, right?
Oh, the app? Yeah.
Well, I imagine it was I don't know. But still, if you can unlock it with your key, you should be able to unlock it with your phone. Right? Like I think I can, I'm not sure, but I think I can start the Jeep.
No,
I'm pretty sure. Phone? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can start the Jeep, but I can't get in it.
Like a tease.
Yeah. But I also have the remote start. But okay, here SRT Grand Cherokee could unlock the doors through the Uconnect app. See? If the Grand Cherokee can do it.
Well, they're more money. Maybe the computer's bigger.
Right? Yeah, everyone says Uconnect app, but from what I can tell,
this is a you problem. You fucked it.
Yeah, you can't put the windows down. You can do other things. You just can't put the windows down.
So, just a correction. So, Paul can't put the...
Yeah, well, that's...
Not you, Paul. Apparently 3 or 4 other people are like, what's wrong with this guy?
Right? I'm just looking at myself over here in the...
You're like, what?
Yeah. So, wait.
We'll try it.
Yeah, I'll try it, but I'm pretty sure. So, Dion says extra U-joints. He keeps those on hand.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea, but a lot of people do that. I was talking like underrated, kind of obscure, or like not as sexy, but people do. I know a lot of people that carry full U-joints or full like replacement, drive shafts and everything, right?
That's true, right? Well, when you bring like the tow rig, you bring quite a bit of stuff, no?
Not really. I play dangerous. I'll bring some tools.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But I might not have anything to change because I don't bring a lot of parts.
All right.
Yeah. All right, what?
All right. No, I was just going to go to the next one.
Oh, fine. Cut me off.
Yeah. Sorry.
Fine. Okay.
You said you didn't have any parts or whatever. I was like, that's it. Fine, I'm next.
You don't want to hear the rest of my story. That's fine.
All right. Wait, no, I do want to hear the rest of your story.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I don't. I forget it now.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. Okay, number 9. What do we got here?
Number 9. Oh, yeah. Do yourself a favor and everyone else. Change that cabin air filter, would you? Get the death ball cheese out of everyone's nostrils.
Right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, super unsexy one. Most people don't know where they are. But yeah.
So do you change yours or do you
Oh, yeah, totally.
But
all my vehicles, all of them.
But don't you have the like the protector on it or whatever
you got to change your cabin air filter. So the filters the air it comes in.
Got it. Yeah.
No race car parts. It's not fun at all, but it's just good for you. And then
I know what you mean about the smell too, right?
Yeah.
Remember K cars? I don't know if you remember those guys, but they all had like something was going on with their filters. They all smelled exactly the same, like my grandparents. I remember stealing my buddy's his mom's car. And she wasn't that old, but we were like 14 and we're like, hey, we're like totally taking this car. And, we're driving around all badass, smelling like grandma and grandpa.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
Is it like a cool like mint color or something? One of those old.
I think it was baby blue with the burgundy interior.
Like a robin's egg blue or something. Oh
yeah. It was pretty sweet. It was a pretty sweet ride. Picking up the ladies, 14.
Probably, yeah. One of those New Yorkers, they're pretty plush. Some big pillow
The New
seats on
Yorkers,
them.
yeah. They're basically the same cars, just bigger and cost more.
And there's more cushions on the seats, because the cushions were the selling feature.
I know, and it was like you're like in a bed.
Yeah,
so be driving down.
That's why a lot of people fell asleep with the wheel in those cars.
Right, exactly. All right, awesome. Okay, so number 10, and number 10 is on my list for sure.
Yes. Okay. Sunshade.
Sunshade.
Yeah, if you just rip the thing down, or you don't have a soft top and you want to go out all day, or you're out and you got to get home, or this, that, and the other, the UV's wild these days. I think the sun's stronger than ever. And if you're, fair complexion, you probably want to just have a sunshade. Or if you did want to leave the whole top at home, like you have a soft top, whatever. But sunshade, you just roll it up, fold it up, like it'll look under your seat. And then that can make a world of difference if you're driving, for hours to get back, A to B or wherever you're doing. Yeah, so I think that's one of those things. They're popular, but just some people take for granted. They'd be like, "Hey, I got a soft top. I don't need a sunshade." Well,
that's what I was going to say. Until you sort of try them. I got a sunshade because at the time my little guy was, I think, 2 years old, and that was the deal. Like, you want to put the sun down, or the roof down. You have to throw up one of these shades. And I was like, oh man, really?
Yeah.
just put some sunscreen on them or something.
Like, this baby sunscreen,
right? Come on, right?
That's ridiculous.
So we put it on, and I'll tell you, honestly, I love the thing. Anytime. So the one I have on there now is the spiderweb sunshade, and it's kind of cool, except you have to actually put the windshield down to get it on the JL. Which not a big deal. As a matter of fact, the windshield down on the JL is so easy. But it just stays on. Like, now it's on there. It's cool. And it doesn't make any noise. When you're flying down the highway at speed, 110, 120 kilometers an hour, you can actually have a conversation because, it cuts the wind. You're not getting burnt, but you still feel like you've got, they literally are, in my opinion, like they were, I'm impressed. I'm glad that my wife got that for me. I'll never tell her, so she doesn't listen to the show anyway, so it's okay.
She'll never know.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, it really was. It was, like I say, the first thing I did when I take the hard top off this was I threw on the sunshade, and because it's weird without it. Now I feel like you say, I'm burning up, cooking here.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You just get cooked.
All right, Dion's got a very obscure one. Here we go. What you got? He's got a 45-liter water tank with a high power water pump tucked away in his spare tire well. He can wash his Jeep out in the woods. If you can wash your Jeep in the woods, you win. That's it.
Yeah. I would just wash myself.
Right? What I mean? there's that too, right?
Yeah.
You shower, wash the Jeep. Shower.
I'm showering, dude, all day.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Sometimes I shower before the podcast because I don't know why.
Mike says sunshade is a must in Georgia.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, you must get just cooked.
Oh gosh, down there. Oh yeah. Anyway, I mean, in this day and age, though, like anywhere,
sun's super hot here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was what 127 degrees there. Actually, where Dion is, I imagine Dion, are you burning up, buddy? He's on the West Coast, and I think they've got some crazy heat happening there, but it seems to be everywhere. But yeah, sunshades are great. Really, really big fans. So I have a couple here. Do I have a couple? You know what I have on my list that you didn't cover that I think, especially if you have a JL, especially if you have a JK, is the hood lashes. So
hood lashes, the flutter.
Yeah, driving down the highway and you're like,
yeah, people like the hood lashes. I was thinking like obscure.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I don't think. I think unless you've had a Jeep for a while, because it's not one of the first things you do, because until it gets to the point where that thing's fluttering and it freaks you out and you think, holy shit, this thing's gonna like open and smash my windshield. Until you have that moment, I don't think you realize how awesome those things are, or how there really is a need for them. The JLs are much better, of course, but
yeah, you can change them because they're boring.
Dion says there are 107 wildfires in his area right now. So how about that?
How about that? That's intense.
That's intense. All right. So, the other thing is for me, and again, it's probably it's not really obscure by any means is car mats though. Is like a good
Oh, I
car
was gonna
mat.
say car mats are a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. We
Tux.
talked about this Tux mats.
I like the Tux mat.
Yeah, you know they
It
need to
feels
be a
like
little bit more
Lamborghini.
rugged, right? They're a
They're
little
like
bit
Lamborghini,
shiny but they work.
and they're tall, they're high, right? So it's nice.
Yeah,
they're so high up. Like if you're out four wheeling, you got crap all over you. You know what I mean? Like I get that mat dirty right up to the console. You know what I mean? And it's all good.
yeah, exactly.
You just pull that thing out and wash it, and put it back in. You know what I mean? They're a little interesting to put in, but because they have so much more material, they need to be secured in different locations.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think they're cool. I mean, I know we know Lu Chen there, right? But
yes, yeah. As a matter of fact, he may join us for a show, but
yeah, he should.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, so yeah, you're right. We're maybe a little bit biased that way, but not biased in terms of like I had the
I always get WeatherTechs. Like,
probably WeatherTech, but WeatherTechs I've had them and they're not. I personally don't find them as good.
No, I like the Tux mat much better, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Right, like.
Just
and they have a new it's the same material, it's still that PVC, but they have like a new texture to them, so they're not so shiny now, and they actually look pretty badass in the Jeep. And I tell you,
don't shine anymore.
And stuff. What's that?
Mine don't shine anymore.
Oh, that's good, because I find mine are too shiny. Like open up the door, it's like whoa, man.
Well, it's like I don't really clean them.
Yeah. Oh well, there you go. See, but mine is literally I used last week. I just grabbed a bottle of some shit. I don't even know what it was. Sprayed it, wiped it out, done, like brand new. I don't even take them out of the Jeep. I won't take them out and hose them off. No way. I just wipe them out. So, what do we got? Someone says I live in Florida and I'm bald, so sunshade's pretty much mandatory. Yeah,
I bet.
That, man.
Yeah.
Totally hear that. What's this one? The bed tread for the cargo area is amazing. Is that what you have? Is that what you have in the back of your?
The green Jeep has it, and the JL has it. Yeah.
In the back, right? Is that what that is? Because that is pretty amazing.
When we were doing the pictures, that's it. It's good. It's good, especially any kind of junk you can throw in there and take some abuse. Dogs, you know what I mean? You get dog hair and all that.
Yes.
Easy to get out.
That's my thing, right? With the dogs, right? Having something like that is awesome. Put the dogs in the back and away you go. You can have some junk in your trunk.
Ooh.
How about that? All right. So did anyone listening, if we missed something, throw it in the comments here. We'll discuss quick. Armorlight, no. I'd like to try it. I haven't tried it myself. As a matter of fact, I thought that's what was in your trunk. I was going to ask you about that, Ryan. In the, what was it? The bed tread. I thought that was Armorlight, actually.
Yeah,
but I think
bed tread.
I think Armorlight is similar to the Tux mats in that they come and they're molded and they fit and they really cover a lot.
Okay.
But I haven't tried them personally. So, all right. Well, with that said, what did we miss? Anything? I was trying to think of anything. What about the fuel doors for the? I guess again, most of the newer Jeeps they have them now, right? I don't know if the sports.
The basicer one, the more basic ones don't have it.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. But people buy that stuff like mad. You know what I mean? I was trying to think of like stuff that doesn't happen, like fuel door covers, like huge popularity. Hood latches, great move, but we find them for us it's one of the best sellers too, right? Like, people like fuel doors. Yeah, for us, fuel doors and hood latches, and just kind of like that's our strong suits. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
For security, like great pieces, but I mean, I was trying to think of stuff that's like people take for granted or be like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like life insurance. So like, I don't need it yet.
Right. Fair enough. Or like that knife, that combat knife.
What'd you think of that?
Oh, it's amazing. I was showing my wife. I'm like, I don't think it's all that sharp. And then I went to cut something with it. And I was like, whoa. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah,
it's insanely sharp. Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So thanks for that. Yeah. So now it's in the Jeep. I have it there, and because I find typically if I'm going to need a knife and I'm out and I have my Jeep with me. So someone says the Colby emergency valve cores. How about that? That's a good one.
There you go.
And definitely obscure.
Right. Yeah. Not too many people are thinking ahead like that.
There you go. You should make more knives, Ryan. Somebody says.
Oh, it'd be Christina, I bet.
Oh, is that There you go. Hey, Ryan.
Just
make more knives.
Well,
all
yeah,
right, cool.
A couple more things to go and we'll get there.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, what do you have going on over the next
week? Like more models. What do we got?
Yeah.
We're going to do that collab.
Yeah, but anything over the next week? Anything we've got a few things coming out.
We got some stuff.
We're gonna by the way, speaking of that, I'll try to find the number, but jump on the text.
Mike,
jump on the text community. I'll get you the number. Wait, hold on, it's here.
It'll go across.
Here we go. There it is. If you text podcast to 716-209-3576, you'll be one of the first people who can you can check out our new little collab that we have going on, and you also get like special discounts, and we do fun giveaways, and honestly, we don't bother you because we rarely text, so we try to keep it useful information. And of course, you can use that once you're part of the text community. You can send in questions, comments, have any topic suggestions, send those in as well.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so that's it. I think we're done. I think it's over. No one wants to hear us anymore. We got nothing else to say.
We did okay. There's people hearing us for 53 minutes.
Yeah, no, hey, and to everyone that stuck around and still here, you guys are the best. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out.
And everyone that catches it later, the audio version and what have you, again, thank you as well.
Thanks for not making live.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But you can make live Thursdays. We're doing 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do the live show every Thursday until I would say at least September, and then we'll see if we can bribe Tim to make the appearance in the evening shows. But we'll figure it out from there. But yeah, Thursdays you can join the Facebook group. So it's facebook.com/groups/Jeep podcast, or you can catch us on the JeepBeef channel, the JeepBeef page. Again, Thursdays at 8:15 ish Eastern time. And if you have thoughts, questions, comments, whatever, wherever you're listening, just leave a comment. We will find it. We will see it. Or you can email podcast@jeepbeef.com, or of course, jump on that text community at 716-209-3576. And that's it. That's all we got.
All right.
That's all. It's everything. Till next week. Thanks for being here. And Ryan, thanks for joining me. As always,
thank you.
I learned a lot, man.
Here we go. Cool. Take care.
All right, later on.